Hey, watch this one now. Some young bowlers are about to strike out on their own. The entry's called Let the Good Times Roll. It's sponsored by Dr. Pepper and 7-Up. There goes the bowling ball. And I think the young man is going to rack up another strike as it makes
How do you
contact.
know, Bill? How do you know?
I have a hunch. Look at that. There go all of the pins. This is a tribute to the 7-10 split, by the way.
Across the Pacific, it's the 216 members of the Kamehameha Warrior Marching Band from Honolulu, Hawaii, wearing uniforms modeled after those worn by the Iolani Palace Guard. Hoping those bowling pins aren't going to drop off into the street ahead of them.
Aloha, I'm Tim Ho.
And I'm Suzanne Ho'ohui.
And we're from the Kamehameha School's Warrior Marching Band and Color Guard in Kapalama Heights, Oahu.
And we'd like to wish you a very happy new year.
In the streets here, many of whom are from all across the United States and glad to be in the warm weather, and these kids from Hawaii are probably freezing.
Yeah, it was one of our cooler mornings here. We got down to the mid-30s. But it's warming up on a bright sunny day. Going to be a great afternoon for the Rose Bowl game with Michigan against Southern California. Well, the nostalgia of a housewarming party in the late 1800s is depicted in Home Savings of America's first Tournament of Roses entry called Holiday Housewarming. Family and friends gather to celebrate while horse-drawn carriages dash through the snow, even though it's warming up in Pasadena. Well, saddle up for a ride with this Western equestrian group. They're led by Marshal D.O. Rogers on his Appaloosa Hanks Rebel. These horsemen come from as far away as Bayside, New York, to participate in, should I say, the unbridled excitement of the Rose Parade?
You should.
All right.
But you should say Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year from Southern California. You're watching the 100th Annual Tournament of Roses Parade live from Pasadena.
This King of Beasts brings a roaring celebration to the 100th Tournament of Roses from the Animal Kingdom, as well as from the International House of Pancakes. That wonderful mane is made of roses and spices, and his body is all covered with straw flowers, chrysanthemums, and seaweed. And of course, this float from IHOP is the winner of the the winner of the Princess's Trophy, and that particular award is reserved for floats 35 feet in length and under.
With the rest of the United States Marshals posse makes its way down Colorado Boulevard in official U.S. Marshals uniform.
And here's your own invitation to join the Culture Club. Orchestrated by First Interstate Banks, the theme of this beautiful entry is called Let the Celebration Begin. You know, this float is actually divided into 3 different sections devoted to the first one, drama and dance, the center section, the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and the rear section, the Los Angeles Master Chorale.
It's 85 feet long, which means it cannot qualify for an award because they can't be over 55 feet in length. The United States Marine Corps Marching Band, a favorite Rose Parade audience for 40 years. They're from Marine Corps bands in San Diego, Camp Pendleton, El Toro.
And right behind the Marine Corps Band, the Golden State Foods entry, Here Comes the Circus. Boy, that one's self-explanatory. Oh, well, I can't say that one, Bill.
I thought it was good.
It's taking my words right out of my mouth because it's so colorful and fun to look at. Pure pachyderm power pulling these 10 circus wagons loaded with animals and 10 kids who've overcome cancer and other serious illnesses. The elephants and the blankets are woven with chrysanthemum, straw flowers, carnations, and orchid petals. And you can see the beautiful sprays of orchids cascading from the tops of the wagons. Wait a minute. Is that really Superman? You know, this is one of the funny phenomenon of our time.
Yeah.
We have crowds below us because Superman is sort of in a stalled pattern right there.
Yeah.
Giving Budweiser a great commercial. Down Colorado Boulevard, and right behind him, representing the state of Washington in its centennial year, is the Auburn High School Marching Trojan Band.
Right. Let's listen and play a specially composed piece of music entitled The Washington Centennial March. bigger, they're better. The floats are far more elaborate than anything we even dreamed of. Of course, through the years, the use of plastics and lightweight metals and engineering ideas have all been able to make the floats, really, as I say, they look like they float.
Actually,
down the boulevard.
One of the best stories, and Bill Welsh, who you really have been doing this for 42 consecutive years, which is amazing, but one of the funniest stories is hearing how you just about got speared one day. Why don't you tell people about it?
Oh, yeah, I was standing at ground level on the sidewalk with a fence around me, so I was sort of in a little cage open on one side toward the parade. Here came a Union Oil Company float like a ship with a big bowsprit sticking out in front. And it's trying to make the right turn. I'm on the northeast corner in Colorado and Orange Grove. And what do you know? It isn't going to make the turn. And the men in white suits are shouting, "Stop, stop, stop." And then nobody's hearing them inside the float. It keeps on coming. And I think, hey, I'm going to be the world's biggest shish kebab. Except the crowd, like the crowd is shouting now, begins to holler, "Stop, stop, stop, stop." And it's obviously stopped because I'm here with you today, Mary.
Thank goodness you are. Well, we say Happy New Year from both.
Well, this is the 100th Tournament of Roses Parade in Pasadena, California, on a wonderful California day. But this is a first for these ladies. This is the Sacramento Ladies Mounted Patrol. Most of them, by the way, are reserve sheriff's deputies. And they get out there on horseback and assist in search and rescue efforts. And this is their first trip to the Rose Parade. So it's got to be exciting for them to have an opportunity to ride down the street.
Now
today.
a huge band. It can't be McBeat, as a matter of fact. 104 strong from every state in the Union. This is the McDonald's All-American High School Band.
Do you think we should listen to them? They're picked by directors of music in each of the states. Underneath their overlays, you'll notice that each wear the uniform of their particular band. And we got a first here because this is the first time ever we've had a lady as the drum majorette. It's Randy Patton. And the first time in 22 years, one of them's done that. Anyway, because these are wonderful young musicians, let's... Boulevard.
If you see these gentlemen right here on your screen in white suits, they are literally called white suiters, and they are members of the 875 volunteer organization here in Pasadena who literally organize and conduct this parade every single year. John Bigger, the president of the association, has been one of those for years and years, and these people volunteer their time every year and put in hundreds of hours of work to make this parade work.
Did you see that one guy helping this float, the FTD float, get around the corner? Where was he when I needed him? That boat was coming after me.
By the way, we have to congratulate FTD. They're winners of the President's Trophy.
For the most effective overall floral presentation. Well, it's appropriate that FTD would be the ones to win that. It's been a century in the making, they're saying. This float is called 100 Years of Flowers on Parade. It has its roots in the first flower-covered carriages that rolled down Colorado Boulevard in 1890. The gardens are overflowing with over 45,000 roses, as well as iris, daisies, and orchids.